Hello everyone, hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a bonus video. Now, I meant to film this video yesterday, but because of just problems with, I won't get into it, I couldn't get the video filmed. But today is better than ever. Today we're going to talk about Prince. Yesterday was the unfortunate anniversary of his death, and the anniversary of Sometimes It Snows in April, which is a really cool fact. A long-time friend of the show, art collector, pointed it out to me, and I didn't know that. But breathe. Sometimes It Snows in April. It's a beautiful song, one of the most beautiful songs I have ever heard, and the fact that he passed away on the same day on the anniversary of him recording that song, which is also about the passing of a friend, is just beautiful. But today, hopefully today I can explain to you why I love Prince so much and why lots of people love Prince. So we're just going to go through it, and the first one is songs about sex. So, for example, I have here Rod Stewart. Now, fantastic man, one of my favourite singers. Some of the songs he has under his belt are amazing, but some of them are really creepy. There's a lyric on here. Which one is it? I think it's God, I don't know which song it is exactly, but the lyrics go, "Open your wings and let me come inside." No! Shut up! That is horrible. It's awful. And then there's something like Nickelback that have a song literally just called Sex, and the lyrics go, "No isn't the answer." Like, that's really creepy. Shut the hell up. So my point is, you can do a song about sex, and it can either be really cool or really fucking creepy. There is no middle ground. And in the case of Prince, he made sex cool. He did so many different songs about sex, and it's just cool. You know, it never seemed creepy or weird or a bit obsessive. It was always done really cool. And I mean, he was the sex symbol of the 80s. I saw a documentary that said Michael Jackson was the pop icon, whereas Prince was the sex symbol. You know, Michael Jackson was very PG and very kid-friendly, whereas our man Prince wasn't, which is so true. And I don't know why I just picked this out so I could hold something while I talk to you. But it's actually on a purple vinyl, so let me show you that. But this is his, I believe he recorded it in high school. I'm not too sure about that. No, I think it was high school. And this sounds brilliant. Sorry everyone, I was interrupted. This sounds brilliant. And this leads us on to my next point, is that I saw an interview with Prince, and the interviewer, I think it's not Stephen Colbert. It was one of the American late show host thingies. He said, if you didn't get into music, what would you want to be? And Prince basically said that nothing. He said that I always knew that I wanted to get into music and I wanted to be this person, which I find really inspirational, because he knew from an early age that he wanted to be this mega star, and he set his mind to it and he did it, which is brilliant. You know, at least it's a problem I have. I have an issue where I want to do something. Like, I've been saying I want to learn the guitar for years, but I've never actually put my mind to it. And Prince is a lot better than me. He put his mind to it and became this fucking icon, this amazing dude. And I'm going to probably do first impressions for, I believe there's 3 albums that he put out in the 70s before he became Prince in the Revolution, and put out in 1999. And I'm going to do first impression videos to listen to them. But then we come on to 1999, which is one of the greatest double albums I've ever heard. It's really grown on me since the review. And back on the sex thing, even the cover of that album has a penis on it. But it's not right in your face. There's a song on there called Music, Sex, Romance, Dance, DSMR. Dance, Music, Sex, Romance. And it is brilliant. It always has me dancing. And the bit at the end where the woman's screaming is a bit but it's still, it just gets you dancing, gets you singing. That album is brilliant, and there's a bit of rock in there, and a bit of pop, and a bit of glam pop. It's just perfect. And then his next album, this bad boy, which is the album that got me into Prince, it's one of the greatest rock albums of all time. Every song is a masterpiece, and I actually plan to listen to this album once I finish filming. It's just superb, and I knew when I picked this up, I knew it was a famous 80s album, but I hadn't heard much of any of it besides When Doves Cry and Purple Rain, which I think was two of his most famous songs. And they are phenomenal. This album is phenomenal. And then the fact that he could go from a purely rock album like this and do psychedelic synth pop on All Around the World is brilliant. And the song Raspberry Beret is one of the greatest songs of all time. That's, I think it is my favourite Prince song. I'm sort of, it's either first or second of my favourite Prince song. It's so catchy. She wore a raspberry beret. It's so good. And then we go on to my favourite Prince album, Parade, Under the Cherry Moon. Just, that album is stunning. It's phenomenal. How every song, I know it's a soundtrack to a movie, so it would connect. Every song on that album connects to the next one, and it flows so fluently. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And as I said before, the closing song, Sometimes It Snows in April, is just outstanding. It's so beautiful and touching, and as someone who has a loved one up in the sky, it's just really touching and a fantastic album. And then from that really soft rock pop album, he would go on to do R&B with Sign of the Times, which again, that's an amazing album. And that one is really growing on me. When I first picked it up, it wasn't one of my favourites, but it's going right up there. I think it's brilliant. And I bought it because it celebrated its anniversary. So it's probably, I want to say 40 years, might be 30 years since it came out. But that's phenomenal. That's honestly, I haven't heard much after that at the moment. I'm slowly going through his stuff. It takes me a bit of time. I've heard One Night Alone with Prince, which I believe came out in 2004. That's amazing. I've got it on vinyl. There's a review on the channel as well. But overall, Prince is just brilliant. And I love the way that he could make all these different sounds. He did all the sounds you can think of, but it still sounds like Prince. It has that familiar Prince theme to it, even though it's a bit of R&B or a bit of rock or a bit of pop or glam pop or hell, even some disco, I think. But it's just fantastic. And the whole sex thing, he could make sex cool and really give it some punch compared to some other artists who would make sex really creepy. But yeah, thanks. This is just supposed to be a quick video, but I could talk about Prince all day. Hopefully this makes sense, but I have a sedentary list of my favourite artists and bands of all time that doesn't really change. And Prince is sixth on that list, which there's a video, you can search it on the channel. But I have my favourites at the moment, which is a different list or it's different altogether, where it's whatever I'm choosing to listen to, Oasis are my favourite band of all time, but I don't listen to them every day because I get bored of them. But Prince hasn't left that listening to them phase. Usually I'll get into a band or an artist and then sometimes I just stop listening to them for a while, like The Doors. But Prince is still there because there's so much to listen to. There's so much there. I haven't even spoken about his movies. I've only seen the two of them, Purple Rain and Parade. And even his movies are great. He's I believe he directed them and acted in them. And they're all brilliant, He was a really talented man. And it's sad that I should have started listening to him sooner. I really got into his music in 2020. And it is something that bugs me that I didn't listen to him while he was alive. But There's a Pink Floyd song called The Great Gig in the Sky. There's a review on Dark Side of the Moon coming up, but that song, I mean, the name of the song, The Great Gig in the Sky, makes me think about a concert in heaven with all the artists who have passed away. And the song itself is beautiful. I believe it's what you hear when you die, but I like to think, I'm not to inject religion into this, but I am Catholic and I do believe in a God and heaven. And if the Great Gig in the Sky, I believe the Great Gig in the Sky is real and it's up there in heaven. And people like Prince and David Bowie and Michael Jackson and Chester Bennington and all these amazing people are up there playing gigs and doing music and enjoying themselves free of their mortal bodies. I do honestly believe that, and please don't come at me because I'll just block you. But yeah, Prince is amazing, and I just wanted to talk about him because I am a huge fan. Since I got into his music, I have not been able to stop listening to him. Again, just because there's so much there. There's so many different sounds. If I get bored of listening to his rock stuff, I can go on to his R&B stuff. And back and forth. It's just brilliant. Thanks for watching this ramble, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, everyone. I moved the camera back so you could see my t-shirt. Take care.